20 Years with Lyman's Flintlock Deerstalker, William Hovey Smith, 2015. I'm the author of Extreme Muzzleloading, and here we're getting this gun ready for its last hunts. This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. I've got a table full of stuff today, and what we're going to talk about is this particular Flintlock carbine. Now, this particular thing happens to be the Lyman Deerstalker rifle, and this was introduced in 1990, and as a traditional gun as defined in most state laws, this is as good as they can be got in Flintlock. The gun itself, I've taken it through significant modifications. We've owned this particular gun for now more than 15 years, I'm sure, and it is taken game. And I am going to tell you about it and how to keep this gun and guns like it running and working most efficiently. Now, I am the author of an ebook, Shooting and Maintaining Your Muzzleloader. And I also am the author of many other articles about muzzleloading, and in particular, extreme muzzleloading, where I actually talk about my hunts with this and other guns. Now, this gun in Flintlock sold last year for $483 without the adjustable sights. When I bought this gun, I paid something less for it, but we've done considerable work. This is the original lock. It is a coil spring lock. And it looks very, very much like the coil spring locks on Thompson Center Flintlocks, which I also happen to own one of. I and many others had problems with these coil spring locks. Consequently, H&R Lock Company, owned by Mr. Cox and operated in Sumter, South Carolina, makes an RLP lock, a replacement lock, which is a leaf spring lock and actually gives more reliable function. So I had one of these installed in this gun. As a matter of fact, Mr. Cox himself put it in. He doesn't do that as a regular course of work, but he did it as a special favor to me. And this has improved its functionality. I, like many older hunters, find my eyes are not as good as they used to be. So consequently, I put on the Lyman sights. Now, since Lyman sells a gun, yeah, they did tap it for their adjustable sights, and this particular sight works very, very well with this gun. You can use it with this peephole in it, or you can take it out and just shoot with the ghost ring. Either way it works. The front bead sight works just fine with it, although you can replace that one too. If you are buying a Flintlock gun and you're going to use it in Pennsylvania, which usually is a late season Flintlock only hunt in snow, you want something to keep your Flintlock protected. And that's what this device is on the very corner. This is a so-called mule's knee, and it actually fits over the lock as a leather cover and ties to the trigger guard. You just flip it off and then you can cock your gun. It works best if the snow is dry. Wet, sloppy snow, yeah, it's still a problem, but dry snow and a little mist, and it'll keep you dry for a while. But all day, this is a Flintlock after all, so you have to be careful about your prime. Now, about priming. Flintlocks use a 4F priming powder, and one of these cans here is in fact 4F. And there are several things you can keep it in. This horn is one I made myself, obviously out of deer antler. Yeah, it's drilled through, capped on the bottom, deer antler plug, this spine is drilled, and you just dribble your prime out in your pan. And I have a screw in it here just to keep it closed. There is a more elegant version. That is this. This is sold by Dixie Gun Works. And matter of fact, all of these accessories are available from Dixie Gun Works. And it pushes down in the pan, and you push it down like this, and it drops out your priming powder. Yeah, very, very efficient, very small, very convenient to carry. Now, this is a flintlock after all. Where do you get flint? Well, Dixie Gun Works again. From time to time, you're even able to buy original flints that were knapped in the 1700s. Some of these were recovered from shipwrecks. Others of them were recovered from old arsenals. This happens to be one that is cannon lock size. Moo. That flint actually was recovered from a British man of war. This is an English flint. This is a dug flint that I actually found here in Georgia. This is a flint I chipped myself on the site of an Indian encampment using exactly the same rock they did to make their spear points with it. And with that flint, I actually killed a turkey and another rifle. This is a piece of leather that you use to wrap flints in. Another assortment of English flints, modern cut. This is a piece of lead, which sometimes you use to contain your flint. And this is a sawn agate flint. Now this is actually cut and polished on wheels, so they're absolutely uniform, and they're perhaps the best flint you can buy today, and the toughest, and that's what I actually have in the gun right now. Concerning powder, you need a powder measure. Okay, one powder measure here, adjustable. And this one I've used for many, many years. A powder horn. Now this horn was made by friend Bill Krantz, and he actually made it for a priming horn, but actually for a hunter, this horn does just fine. It's big enough to hold, oh my, nearly 10 rounds, and I'm not going to shoot this much on a hunt. Not very hard, not hardly. So this holds plenty of powder, and this holds plenty of prime, so this is all the powder I need to carry. I don't need to carry a great big horn. Bullets. Flintlocks traditionally use round balls. Okay? And if you're hunting in some states, yep, that's what you've got to use. All right? This shoots round balls very well, by the way. And you also need patching. This is pillow ticking. I've already cut it and lubricated it. And I've got 2 strips here. And it's been lubricated with Thompson's and a boar butter, which works pretty good, with one proviso that I'll tell you about shortly. This is a lubricant. It is a grease. It does all right if you load it and shoot it right away. But if you have a saturated patch like this, and it's hot weather, like it's nearly 100 degrees out there today, this will seep down and ultimately spoil your powder if you don't shoot it right away. Now when I load a gun for hunting season, I might not discharge that gun for weeks. So it's undesirable that this sits on top of your live powder without something between it and the powder. So what I do is I cut plastic wads like this. This is a cartridge case, like here, trimmed off, cuts approximately a 50 caliber wad. Just put it on this plate. This happens to be from Zaxby's, and there you go. This particular plate has a little bit of liner on the inside, which is even better. So there. Boom. So you cut wads. All right. Now, what else? This is a 1:45 twist gun. It will also shoot saboted projectiles. This is Thompson Center's Cheap Shots, pure lead. This you must use in some states. In most states, if you use pure lead projectiles, you may not use sabots, however, but these are relatively inexpensive. I'm also going to use this in the Remington Ultimate muzzleloader as a saboted projectile. And we're going to shoot that gun at 300 yards. Guess what else we're going to shoot at 300 yards? This one. If you know what you're doing with your gun with any decent muzzleloader, yes, you can shoot to 300 yards, and I'm going to demonstrate that with this gun when the time comes. So what else do we need? We need a short starter usually. Actually, the old timers didn't often have them. People have looked in lots of kits, and they've never found one of these things in a set of original accessories. But they are used today, and they make loading saboted projectiles much easier. What else have we got? This. This is a simple stand consisting of 3 sticks and a drill block. And with flintlocks, it is very useful to have this in the field. This way you can sit on your stool or on the ground, whatever, anchor the butt plate in the soil, erect this tripod, and the gun will be stable and the prime kept level in the pan. This way all you have to do is pick it up, cock it, silent cock it by the way, bloop, and shoot. What silent cocking is, it's when you depress the trigger, pull back the hammer, release the trigger, and then lower the hammer down on the sear. If done correctly, this makes absolutely no noise. Very, very desirable if you've got a beastie down there at about 7 yards, which I very often do. It's a hunt from tree stands. What else do you need? You need a bag to carry your accessories in. And looking around on the table to see what else I got. Okay. This is a little ring of Flintlock Tools for working your pan. A little brush here. This for cleaning out your touch hole. This for adjusting your flint. And another tool for cleaning the touch hole. One thing you should do if you buy a new flintlock is usually drill out that touch hole. They come from the factory much too small for reliable function. Now, there are such things as flintlock guns that shoot pelletized powders. Yes. And matter of fact, Traditions has a Pennsylvania pellet rifle, so-called. I believe that's the exact name. And Thompson Center also had a gun that was designed to shoot pellets. Actually, any flintlock gun can shoot pellets. What you need to do is to drill out the touch hole enough that you can tease 4F powder back into the chamber behind the pellets to make sure they get off to a good start. Do that, and you can shoot pellets all day. So if you should be out in the woods and your powder gets wet or lost or falls in the creek or whatever, yeah, you can shoot your buddy's pellets if you put a charge or prime behind them. Now the charge I'll be using in this short barrel gun is 85 grains of FG. Out of this short barrel, it doesn't make much sense to use terribly much else. Now with a saboted projectile, you do get higher pressures and a pretty good burn out of this powder, so you're getting fairly good efficiency out of it. So this is a good load, and I have killed deer with it very well, even with round ball. So with the saboted bullets, it should do very well. You also gonna need a knife, by the way. Terrible, terrible, dangerous little knife here. Yep. Put an edge on this, so this will cut your patches. You could, of course, use any other. This little tool Manufactured by Thompson Center, is a triple threat tool. It has a key here for pulling your barrel wedges, a little hammer here for blip, 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 napping on your flint, and also an end here for removing your nipple on percussion guns. So this also goes in my flint kit. This device is a Power Packer Pro, and I use it on the end of the ramrod. It has spring compression here to make sure I get uniform compression down on the powder. This is a palm saver. Again, put on the end of the ramrod, so you get a good firm compression on your powder. This particular short starter also has an attachment here, which you can also slip on the end of some ramrods, although it's a little small, I think, for this one. So these are a few of the accessories for keeping your flintlock gun shooting. Another unusual wrinkle is, when I start out with a gun, it's August, by the way, August 8th to be exact, I start out with squirrel season. Yeah, I'm going to shoot squirrels with this gun. The theory is, if you have a load that you can kill squirrels with, you can sure as blazes kill deer with it. Got that one? So you work up a load that's accurate enough to take squirrels. Okay. Then you are very sure indeed that you and your gun know each other well enough to go out there and shoot deer. I sort of hate to waste powder and lead at the range just shooting and plinking. I don't like to do that. I'm too cheap for that. So I take it out, and once I target it in, I practice with it, carry it with it, nurture it, learn how to shoot it, learn how it acts, remind myself how it works, and take a series of squirrels with it. So that's the first game we're going to be after with this gun. So now, you know basically the equipment you have to have. What else do you need to do? First off, you need to check out your gun. Oh, flannel pajamas here, by the way. So, we're going to see if this thing is loaded. And we're going to see what condition the barrel's in. This, by the way, is a flexible ramrod. It's a nylon ramrod. So we're going to put it here and run it down the bore. Okay, goes down to there. All right. Feels good coming in and out. It doesn't snag on anything. Well, let's see how far it went down the barrel. Okay. Yeah. It went all the way down. So, yeah, gun's empty, as it should be. And the patch comes out absolutely clean. No rust on it, no grease, no muck, no nothing. So it was put up well. And we'll show you about cleaning when we get around to the first shooting of it. For now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
Extreme Muzzleloading is available as a softcover and ebook. Now, in ebooks, I have Shooting and Maintaining Your Muzzleloader, Muzzleloaders for Hunters, Hunting with Muzzleloading Shotguns and Smoothbore Muskets, Hunting Big and Small Game with Muzzleloading Pistols, and a new series of business books in the Profit series, the first of which is Ideas for New Businesses, and here is a little blurb about that one. Now, I'm going to sell this particular gun in December, and if you'd like it, you can just contact me at the email address, and following is the address for Mr. Cox and his locks. For information on my books, blogs, and more than 425 videos, you can go to my website, www.hoviesmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.